The great warship Bloodclaw moved through space like a hungry beast. Its metal hull was covered in spikes and weapon ports. Inside the ship, Warlord Thekvar stood in his command center. He was 8 feet tall with dark green scales that looked like armor. His claws could cut through steel and his yellow eyes never showed mercy. "Report!" Thekvar growled. His voice sounded like grinding stone. General Voxhar stepped forward. He was smaller than the warlord, but just as deadly. "The Silthian crystal worlds have fallen, my lord. Their leaders surrendered after we destroyed 3 of their cities." Thekvar nodded. The Silthians were weak. They built beautiful crystal towers but could not fight. Like all soft-worlders, they broke easily when real predators came. "And the Borvac territories?" Thekvar asked. "Conquered in 4 days," Voxhar said with pride. "The insect warriors fought well, but they are no match for true deathworlders." The bridge crew made sounds of approval. They were all Krathons, the most feared race in the galaxy. Their home world was a nightmare of acid rain, metal-eating, bacteria, and predators that hunted in packs. Only the strongest survived. Only the most vicious became warriors. For 3,000 years, the Krathon hegemony had ruled the galaxy. They conquered world after world. Soft-worlders always surrendered quickly. Even other Deathworld species usually gave up after seeing Krathon ships. Scout Captain Nalketh entered the bridge. He was young for a Krathon, only 40 years old. His scales were bright green, showing he had not seen many battles yet. "Warlord," Nalketh said, "our scouts have found something interesting." "Speak," Thekvar commanded. "A new star system, sir. 12 planets. The 3rd planet shows signs of advanced life. Only 1 dominant species detected." General Voxhar laughed. "Another easy conquest. What kind of soft-worlders are they?" Nalketh looked at his datapad. "The planet appears to be a death world, sir. High gravity, dangerous weather, multiple climate zones. But the creatures there seem peaceful." "Peaceful?" Thekvar's eyes narrowed. "No death world breeds peaceful creatures. Show me." The main screen lit up with images from the scout ships. A blue and green world appeared covered in water and land. Strange white clouds moved across its surface. "The planet is called Earth," Nalketh said. "The dominant species calls itself human. They have cities, ships, and weapons. But, sir—" He paused. "Continue," Thekvar ordered. "They have not fought a major war in over 200 years. Their military is very small. Most of their ships are for trade, not war." The bridge fell silent. General Voxhar spoke first. "Impossible. No Deathworld species survives without constant war." "Perhaps they are not really Deathworlders," another officer suggested. "Maybe they are just lucky soft-worlders on a dangerous planet." Thekvar studied the images. The planet looked harsh enough. He could see massive storms, frozen areas, and burning deserts. Any species living there had to be tough. But if they were not warriors, they were nothing. "How many ships do they have?" Thekvar asked. "About 50,000, sir. But most are cargo ships, science vessels, or passenger transports. Only a few hundred are armed." General Voxhar snorted. "We have 10,000 warships in this fleet. Alone. They will surrender before we even reach their world." "Their technology level?" Thekvar asked. "Advanced in some ways, primitive in others," Nalketh reported. "They have faster-than-light travel, but their weapons are strange. Most are designed for mining or asteroid clearing, not warfare." Thekvar smiled, showing his sharp teeth. "This would be the easiest conquest yet. A death world with soft-worlders on it. Perhaps they had grown weak because they faced no real threats." "Prepare the fleet," Thekvar commanded. "We will show these humans what real Deathworlders look like." "Sir," Nalketh said carefully, "should we send a surrender demand first? It is traditional." "No," Thekvar growled. "Let them see our ships first. Fear makes conquest easier." The massive hegemony fleet began moving toward Earth. 500 of the biggest warships ever built, carrying weapons that could destroy continents. Behind them came support ships filled with warriors ready for ground combat. General Voxhar walked to the weapon controls. "I will prepare the planet crackers, my lord. Should we target their biggest cities first?" "Not yet," Thekvar said. "First, we show them our power. Destroy a few of their ships. When they beg for mercy, then we make our demands." The journey to Earth would take 3 days at full speed. Thekvar spent the time planning the conquest. These humans would learn that the galaxy belonged to the strong. They would serve the hegemony or die. "Sir," an officer reported, "we are detecting human ships approaching our position." "Combat ships?" General Voxhar asked, moving to his battle station. "No, sir. They appear to be cargo vessels and some kind of science ships." Thekvar frowned. Were these humans completely insane? Did they think trade ships could stop a war fleet? "Are they fleeing?" he asked. "No, sir. They are approaching us, and, sir, they are sending a message." "Put it through," Thekvar ordered. The main screen showed a human face. It was small and soft, with strange pale skin and tiny eyes. The creature was smiling. "Greetings, unknown visitors," the human said in a pleasant voice. "I am Captain Kim Tae-ho of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. Welcome to our star system. We have brought gifts and information about our civilization. Would you like to meet for peaceful contact?" The entire Krathon bridge stared in shock. General Voxhar's mouth hung open. Scout Captain Nalketh blinked his large eyes. "Did," Thekvar said slowly, "did they just invite us to dinner?" "I think so, sir," Nalketh whispered. This was not how conquests were supposed to start. Captain Kim Tae-ho stood on the bridge of his diplomatic ship, the Harmony. His crew was busy preparing for first contact with the alien fleet. Everyone was excited. This was the moment humanity had dreamed about for centuries. "Are the gift packages ready?" Kim asked his second officer, Lieutenant Park Sola. "Yes, sir," she replied with a big smile. "We have music collections, art samples, food from every continent, and complete databases of human culture. Also, medical supplies in case they need help after their long journey." Kim nodded. The aliens had traveled very far to reach Earth. They must be tired and hungry. It was only polite to offer assistance. Behind him, Communications Officer Lee Hyun was recording everything. "Sir, should I contact Earth Command about the alien fleet?" "Already done," Kim said. "Admiral Lee Hyun is bringing the Peaceful Contact Fleet. Dr. Park Sola from the Xenobiology Institute is also coming. This is the most important day in human history." The alien ships were huge and covered in weapons. Kim had never seen anything so impressive. These visitors must come from a very advanced civilization. Earth could learn so much from them. "Sir," Park Sola said, looking at her sensors, "I count about 500 ships. They are all heavily armed." "Probably for protection during their journey," Kim said. "Space can be dangerous. Pirates, asteroid fields, all sorts of hazards." "Should I alert the Defense Corps?" Lee Hyun asked. Kim shook his head. "No need. These are obviously peaceful explorers. Look at how organized their fleet is. This is a diplomatic mission." On the alien command ship, Warlord Thekvar was having a very different conversation. "War Alpha," he said to the human on the screen. "I am Warlord Thekvar of the Krathon hegemony. Surrender now and your death will be quick." The human looked confused. "I'm sorry, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm Captain Kim Tae-ho, and I'm not a military leader. I'm here to welcome you to our star system. Would you like to come aboard for refreshments?" General Voxhar whispered to Thekvar. "Perhaps their War Alpha is hiding. This could be a trick." "Human," Thekvar growled. "Where is your strongest warrior? Where is your fleet commander?" "Oh," Kim said, his face brightening. You want to meet our leaders. Let me contact Earth. I'm sure Secretary General Yun Minji would love to speak with you. She's very good with visitors. The screen changed to show an older human woman with gray hair and kind eyes. She was sitting in what looked like a garden. "Hello there," Yun Minji said warmly. "I'm so pleased to meet you. We've been hoping for first contact for so long. I'm the Secretary General of the United Nations. Think of me as Earth's head diplomat." Tekvar stared. This soft creature was their leader? "Where is your war alpha? Your military commander?" "Military commander?" Yun Minji looked puzzled. "Well, we have Admiral Li Hyun, but she's in charge of our peaceful contact fleet. We haven't had a unified military in decades. There's really no need for one anymore." "No military?" General Voxhar whispered. "How do they protect their territory?" "From what?" Yun Minji asked, apparently hearing him. "We have security forces for crime and emergency response teams for natural disasters. But we haven't had a war in over 200 years. Why would we need a big military?" The Krathon bridge fell silent. A species with no military? It was impossible. "Listen," Yun Minji continued, "you must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you come to Luna City? It's our main space station near the moon. We've prepared quarters for you, and our chefs are excited to cook for new guests. Do you have any food allergies we should know about?" Tekvar tried again. "Human leader, we are here to conquer your world. Surrender or face destruction." Yun Minji laughed gently. "Oh my, you have such a serious sense of humor. But really, you don't need to conquer anything. If you need resources, we're happy to share. If you want territory, there are plenty of empty worlds in this system. Mars is being terraformed right now. Maybe you'd like to help with that project?" Dr. Park Sola's voice came over the radio. "Secretary General, I'm approaching in the science vessel Hope. I have the xenobiology team ready for first contact protocols." "Wonderful," Yun Minji said. "Dr. Park Sola is our best xenobiologist. She's been studying alien life for years, even though we never found any before now. She's so excited to meet you." A new ship appeared on the Krathon sensors. It was white and blue, with no visible weapons. It was broadcasting music and mathematical sequences. Dr. Park Sola's face appeared on a smaller screen. She was young and eager, with bright eyes. "Greetings, visitors from the stars. I'm Dr. Park Sola. I've brought detailed information about human biology, psychology, and culture. I hope we can learn from each other." "Are all your ships unarmed?" General Voxhar asked. "Unarmed?" Dr. Park Sola looked confused. "Well, we have some mining lasers and asteroid pushers for emergencies. But why would we need weapons? Your guests here." More human ships arrived. All were clearly civilian vessels. Some were bringing art galleries. Others had musicians aboard. One ship was entirely filled with different types of food. Engineer Choi Nara contacted them from a cargo ship. "Alien friends, I have samples of our latest technology. Maybe we can trade designs? I'm particularly interested in your faster-than-light engines. Ours work, but yours look much more efficient." The humans were treating the invasion fleet like a trade expedition. "Sir," Scout Captain Nalketh said quietly, "what do we do? They won't fight. They won't surrender. They just want to be friends." Tekvar had conquered 47 worlds. He had faced desperate enemies, clever enemies, and cowardly enemies. But he had never faced enemies who insisted on being helpful. "Send them our weapon specifications," Tekvar finally said. "That will scare them." Admiral Li Hyun received the data an hour later. She contacted the alien fleet immediately. "These are amazing designs," she said excitedly. "Such efficient energy transfer. And these armor materials are incredible. Are you mining engineers? Some of these tools would be perfect for our asteroid belt operations." "Those are weapons," General Voxhar said weakly. "Yes, they could be used as weapons," Admiral Li Hyun agreed. "But the energy systems would be wonderful for power generation. and these focusing arrays would be perfect for precision mining. Would you be interested in a technology exchange? Tekvar realized he was facing something completely new. These humans were not afraid because they genuinely did not understand they were supposed to be afraid. "Human Admiral," he said slowly, "we have come to conquer your world." "That's nice," Admiral Li Hyun said. "But why? We have plenty of room for everyone. Would you like to see the new space habitats we're building around Jupiter? There's room for billions of people there." For the first time in his life, Warlord Tekvar had no idea what to do. 3 days had passed since the Krathon fleet arrived at Earth. Warlord Tekvar had tried every standard conquest technique he knew. Nothing worked. First, he demanded tribute. The humans asked what he wanted and immediately started shipping. Rare metals, artwork, and something called kimchi that their leader insisted he would love. Then he demonstrated his weapons by destroying an asteroid. The humans cheered and asked for the technical details so they could improve their mining operations. When he issued ultimatums, the humans treated them as friendly negotiations and offered better terms than he had demanded. Now Tekvar sat in his command chair, staring at reports from his scouts. The news was getting worse every hour. "Sir," General Voxhar said nervously, "Scout Captain Nalketh is requesting permission to return to the ship." "Why? What happened?" "He says the humans are trying to weaponize kindness, and that resistance is psychologically impossible," Tekvar growled. "Put him through." Nalketh's face appeared on the screen. He looked confused and slightly dazed. Behind him was what appeared to be a human kitchen. "Sir," Nalketh said, "I need to report a problem." "Report." "I was assigned to infiltrate human society to find weaknesses. But, sir, they immediately invited me to something called a cooking class. The instructor is a female named Lim Dayun. She's teaching me to make something called bulgogi." "Are you gathering intelligence?" Tekvar asked. "I tried, sir. But when I asked about their military secrets, she gave me the recipes for military rations and asked if I wanted to help improve the taste. Then she fed me something called ice cream, and I think I may have compromised the mission." "How?" "I told her about Krathon food, sir. She got very excited and said she wanted to learn to cook for my species. She's already making a special diet plan to help me with what she calls stress eating." Tekvar had no idea what stress eating was, but it sounded dangerous. "Return to the ship immediately," he ordered. "I can't, sir. I'm signed up for something called soccer practice with Coach Park Jiwon in an hour. The humans say I need recreational activities for mental health. Also, Dr. Oh Seo-hyun wants to examine my old battle wounds. She says some of them haven't healed properly and she can fix them for free." The screen went black. Tekvar looked at his officers. "Did our scout just desert us for sports?" More reports came in. Krathon warriors all over the human system were having similar problems. The humans kept being helpful. They offered medical treatment, entertainment, education, and something called therapy for warriors who seemed angry. Lieutenant Bakhtor reported from Luna City, "Sir, the humans have given us an entire section of their space station. It has gravity adjustment, climate control, and a full entertainment center. They asked what kind of music we like." Sergeant Colvin reported from Mars, "Sir, the terraforming engineers want to show me their work. They say my knowledge of hostile environments would be very helpful. They're offering me a job, sir." Commander Zalketh reported from a human research station, "Sir, their scientists are very interested in Krathon biology. They want to develop better armor based on our scales. In exchange, they're offering to share all their medical technology. Sir, they can cure the bone rot that's been killing our elderly." Tekvar realized his army was being dismantled by pure kindness. "Sir," General Voxhar said, "perhaps we should demonstrate our power more directly. Challenge their greatest warrior to single combat." "Yes," Tekvar said. That will show them we are serious. Director Bae Junho received the challenge request an hour later. He was head of Earth's Global Hospitality Initiative, and he immediately saw this as a cultural opportunity. They want to demonstrate their combat skills, he explained to the committee. This is obviously a traditional greeting in their culture. We should respond with equal respect. Dr. Shin Yuna, the interspecies communication psychologist, agreed. Many warrior cultures use ritual combat as a form of introduction. We should choose someone who can properly represent human martial arts. Ambassador Kang Minho, who used to work in conflict resolution, suggested Master Song Hyok. He's our most skilled martial artist, and he's excellent at turning conflicts into learning experiences. Master Song Hyok was 70 years old, small and thin, with gray hair and kind eyes. He had studied martial arts for 60 years and taught philosophy at the Earth University. When Tekvar saw his opponent, he almost laughed. This tiny old human was supposed to be their greatest warrior? Human, Tekvar growled. I will make this quick? Thank you, Master Song said politely. I appreciate your consideration. Shall we begin with introductions? In our tradition, opponents bow to show respect. Tekvar attacked instead. His claws whistled through the air where Master Song had been standing. The old human had moved like flowing water. Interesting technique, Master Song said calmly, dodging another attack. You put your whole body into each strike. Very powerful. But tell me, does this fighting style help with emotional balance? What? Tekvar snarled, spinning to follow his opponent. I notice you seem very angry, Master Song said, stepping lightly aside from another charge. In my experience, anger makes fighting much harder. Would you like to try a breathing exercise? Tekvar had never had an opponent try to teach him breathing exercises during combat. It was so unexpected that he actually stopped attacking. What are you doing? He demanded. Fighting, Master Song said simply. But also teaching. True martial arts is not about defeating opponents. It's about understanding yourself. This is combat, not philosophy class. Why can't it be both? Master Song asked. Then he moved. Tekvar found himself on the ground, completely unharmed but unable to get up. Master Song was holding him in, some kind of gentle grip that controlled his entire body. How? Tekvar gasped. You are very strong, Master Song said kindly. But strength without control is just violence. Here, let me show you the pressure points I'm using. If you understand them, you can use them to help your warriors recover from injuries. For the next hour, Master Song taught Tekvar basic martial arts philosophy while demonstrating various techniques. By the end, the Krathon warlord was sitting cross-legged on the floor, learning meditation. I don't understand, Tekvar said. You could have killed me easily. Why didn't you? Why would I? Master Song asked. You're not my enemy. You're just confused about what strength really means. But I came here to conquer your world. Yes, I heard about that, Master Song said. But you don't really want to conquer us. You want to understand us. Conquest is just the only method you know. That evening, Tekvar sat alone in his quarters, trying to understand what had happened. The humans had defeated his entire invasion without firing a single shot. They had turned his warriors into students, his threats into trade negotiations, and his conquest into a cultural exchange. For the first time in his life, Warlord Tekvar wondered if there might be better ways to show strength than destroying things. Dr. Park Sola stood before the largest gathering of humans and aliens in galactic history. Representatives from both species filled the great amphitheater on Luna City. Today, she would present her research on what humans really were. Warlord. Tekvar sat in the front row next to Secretary General Yoon Minji. After his experience with Master Song Hyok, the Krathon leader had agreed to attend what the humans called a science presentation. He still didn't understand these people. but he was beginning to think that might be his own fault. "Honored guests," Dr. Park Sola began, "we have discovered something amazing about both our species. The Krathons believe they are the galaxy's apex predators. But today, I will show you that humans are apex predators too. We just evolved past the need to prove it." General Voxhar shifted uncomfortably. "Impossible. Humans are clearly peaceful." "Are we?" Dr. Park Sola asked with a smile. She activated her holographic display. "Let me show you human history." The first image was a massive explosion. Then came scenes of armies, weapons, and destruction. "This is what humans used to be," Dr. Park Sola explained. "For thousands of years we fought, constant wars. We developed weapons that could destroy entire continents. We created diseases that could kill billions. We even figured out how to crack planets apart." Scout Captain Nalketh, who was now wearing a human-style uniform, raised his hand. "But you stopped fighting. Why?" Historian Jeon Sunmi stepped forward. "Because we learned something important. Fighting was making us weaker, not stronger. New images appeared, cities burning, children crying, families torn apart. Every war cost us more than we gained." Jeon Sunmi continued. "We realized that our greatest enemy was not other humans. It was our own violent instincts." Biologist Ryu Tai-young took over the presentation. "Let me explain what makes humans special. Earth is not just a death world, it's the ultimate death world." The display showed Earth's geography, massive storms, earthquakes, volcanoes, floods, ice ages, and asteroid impacts. "Our planet tried to kill us in every way possible," Ryu Tai-young said. "But that's not the worst part. The worst part was the other life on Earth. Images of Earth's predators appeared. Sharks, tigers, crocodiles, poisonous snakes, deadly spiders. Krathons evolved on a world with maybe 20 dangerous species," Ryu Tai-young explained. "Earth has millions. Everything here is trying to eat everything else. Plants that poison you, animals that hunt in packs, diseases that jump between species." Thekvar stared at the images. Some of these Earth creatures looked more dangerous than Krathon warriors. "But here's the interesting part," Ryu Tai-young continued. "Humans didn't just survive this. We thrived. We became friends with some of the predators. We domesticated wolves into dogs. We learned to ride horses. We made cats into pets." "You domesticated predators?" General Voxhar asked, amazed. "We domesticated ourselves," said philosopher Nam Gina, joining the presentation. "That's what makes humans unique. We turned our own predator instincts into something better." The display showed human cities, art, music, and families. "Other species become apex predators by being the best at killing," Nam Gina explained. "Humans became apex predators by being the best at not killing." "But you could still fight if you needed to," Thekvar said. "It wasn't a question." "Oh yes," Dr. Park Sola said calmly. "Watch this." The display showed human military training, soldiers moving like dancers, weapons that fired with perfect precision, strategies that used entire planets as battlefields. "Human warriors don't fight often," Dr. Park Sola explained. "But when they do, they fight with the combined knowledge of every war in human history. Plus, they fight to protect, not to conquer. That makes them much more dangerous." She showed them footage of human rescue teams working in disasters, medical teams saving lives in war zones, engineers building cities in impossible places. "This is what apex predators really look like," Dr. Park Sola said. "They don't just survive. They make sure everything around them survives too." Master Song Hyuk stood up from the audience. "May I add something?" "Of course, Master Song." The old martial artist walked to the center of the amphitheater. "Warlord Thekvar asked me why I didn't kill him when I could have. The answer is simple. Killing him would have made me weaker, not stronger." "How?" Thekvar asked. "Because then I would have learned nothing from him," Master Song replied. "Every person I meet makes me better. Every student I teach makes me stronger. Every enemy I turn into a friend increases my power." He gestured to the mixed crowd of humans and Krathons. "Look around this room. A week ago, your species and mine had never met. Now we are sharing knowledge, learning from each other, becoming stronger together. This is what real apex predators do." Engineer Choi Nara stood up. "Warlord Thekvar, I've been studying your ship designs. They're amazing for conquest, but terrible for exploration. Want to see what we could build together?" The display showed ship designs that combined human and Krathon technology. They were beautiful and powerful, clearly designed for long journeys and peaceful contact. "Your armor technology plus our life support systems," Choi Nara explained excitedly. "Your weapons expertise plus our safety protocols. We could explore the entire galaxy together." Dr. Shin Yuna, the psychologist, added her analysis. "Krathons have spent so long being the strongest that they forgot why strength matters. Humans learned that strength without purpose is just destruction." "What is our purpose then?" General Voxhar asked. "Whatever we decide it is," Secretary General Yoon Minji said gently. "That's the beauty of evolving past simple survival. We get to choose what we become." Thekvar looked around the amphitheater. His warriors were sitting next to human civilians, sharing food and stories. Scout Captain Nalketh was teaching human children how to properly roar. Engineer Choi Nara was showing Krathon technicians how to build better life support systems. "You are saying," Thekvar said slowly, "that humans are apex predators who chose to become something else." "Not something else," Dr. Park Sola corrected. "Something more. We're still predators. We just hunt different prey now." "What prey?" "Ignorance, disease, loneliness, fear, natural disasters, all the things that actually threaten life." She smiled. "Much more challenging than hunting other people." Thekvar stood up. The entire amphitheater fell silent. "For 3,000 years," he said, "the Krathon hegemony has conquered worlds by being the strongest. But today, I learned that we have been measuring strength wrong." He looked at Master Song Hyuk. "You defeated me without hurting me. You made me stronger instead of weaker. This is a kind of power I do not understand. But I want to learn." "Then you will," Master Song said with a bow. "That's what teachers are for." Ambassador Kang Minho stood up. "Warlord Thekvar, on behalf of Earth, I would like to invite the Krathon hegemony to join the cooperative council we're forming, not as conquerors or subjects, but as partners." "What would this partnership involve?" Thekvar asked. "Exploring the galaxy together, sharing knowledge, protecting worlds that need help, building a civilization that's stronger than anything either of our species could create alone." Thekvar looked at his officers. General Voxhar nodded slowly. Scout Captain Nalketh was grinning with all his sharp teeth. "I accept," Thekvar said. "But I have one condition." "What condition?" Yoon Minji asked. "I want Master Song to teach our warriors this human fighting philosophy. If we are going to be partners, we need to learn how to be strong the way humans are strong." "Agreed," Master Song said with another bow. "But I have a condition too." "What?" "You have to teach us how to build ships that can survive in really dangerous places. If we're going to explore the galaxy together, we'll need both kinds of strength." As the two species shook hands, claws, and appendages, Dr. Park Sola made one final note in her research journal. "Today, we proved that evolution's true endpoint isn't the perfect predator. It's the perfect protector." 6 months after first contact, the human-Krathon partnership was working better than anyone had expected. Joint research stations orbited both Earth and the Krathon homeworld. Cultural exchange programs were so popular that there were waiting lists. Master Song Hyuk had even opened a martial arts school on Krath Prime. Admiral Lee Hyun stood on the bridge of the new ship Harmony's Edge, a vessel that combined the best of both technologies. Half her crew was human, half Krathon. They were returning from a successful mission to help a colony world recover from a meteor strike. Admiral, Communications Officer Nal Keth reported, "We're receiving an emergency signal from the Outer Rim. Multiple star systems are going dark." "Pirates?" asked Chief Engineer Choi Nara. "No, ma'am," Nal Keth said, his voice worried. "The signals just stop. Entire systems all at once." Admiral Lee Hyun felt a chill. "Contact Earth Command and Kraith Prime. Emergency meeting." 3 hours later, the combined leadership of both species gathered in the council chamber on Luna City. The news was worse than anyone had imagined. "We call them the Devourers," reported Dr. Park Sola, now head of the Interspecies Science Institute. "Ancient machine intelligences that consume entire star systems for energy. They've been dormant for millions of years, but something woke them up." Warlord Thekvar, who now held the title of Defense Coordinator, studied the tactical displays. "How many systems have they taken?" 47 in the past month, said General Voxhar, now serving as Joint Military Advisor. "They move faster than our ships, and they're heading toward populated areas." Secretary General Yoon Minji looked grim. "How long before they reach our territories?" 6 months, maybe less, Dr. Park Sola answered. The room fell silent. This was the kind of threat the old Krathon hegemony would have faced by fleeing or fighting a hopeless war. But they weren't the old hegemony anymore. "What do we know about their weaknesses?" asked Ambassador Kang Minho. "They're machines," said Engineer Choi Nara. "Very advanced, but still machines. They think in patterns, follow programs." Dr. Shin Yuna, the interspecies psychologist, added, "Machine intelligences are logical but not creative. They can adapt to direct threats, but they have trouble with unexpected responses." "Like humans offering gifts to an invasion fleet?" Thekvar asked, with something that might have been a smile. "Exactly like that," Dr. Shin Yuna confirmed. Master Song Hyok, now serving as philosophy advisor to both species, spoke quietly. "The question is not how to defeat them. The question is how to help them." "Help them?" General Voxhar asked. "They're destroying entire worlds." "Because that's what they were programmed to do," Master Song replied. "But programs can be changed." Admiral Lee Hyun stood up. "We need a plan that combines everything we've learned: Krathon's strength and human adaptability, traditional warfare and creative solutions." "I have an idea," said Engineer Choi Nara. "But it's completely insane." "Those are usually the best kind," Yoon Minji said. "Tell us. What if we don't fight?" "The Devourers? What if we reprogram them?" The room erupted in discussions. It took 20 minutes for order to be restored. "Explain," Thekvar said. Choi Nara activated a holographic display. "The Devourers consume worlds to gather energy and materials, but what if we gave them a better job, something that uses their abilities constructively instead of destructively?" "Like what?" Dr. Park Sola asked. "Terraforming, system construction, building habitats for new colonies. All the things they're good at, but pointed in a helpful direction instead of a harmful one." Dr. Shin Yuna nodded excitedly. "It's like rehabilitation therapy. We don't destroy their nature, we redirect it." "But how do we get close enough to reprogram galaxy-consuming machines?" General Voxhar asked. "The same way humans got close enough to reprogram the Krathon hegemony," Master Song said with a gentle smile. "We offer them something they didn't know they wanted." The plan they developed over the next month was unlike anything either species had ever attempted. It required perfect coordination between human diplomacy and Krathon military precision. The combined fleet that met the Devourers consisted of 300 ships. Half were heavily armed Krathon warships. Half were human vessels loaded with gifts, cultural databases, and engineering equipment. When the lead Devourer machine detected the fleet, it sent the expected demand: "Surrender your technology and resources. Resistance is futile." Admiral Lee Hyun responded personally. "Hello there. I'm Admiral Lee Hyun of the Cooperative Council. We've brought you some presents. Presents are irrelevant. Prepare for consumption. Oh, but these are special presents, Lee Hyun continued, calmly. We have efficiency upgrades for your energy systems, new construction algorithms, and something called art that we think you'll find fascinating. There was a long pause. Explain art. Dr. Park Sola took over the conversation. Art is organized creativity. It takes existing materials and arranges them in ways that serve no survival function, but create beauty and meaning. Beauty and meaning are irrelevant to consumption. Are they? Asked Master Song Hyok, joining the communication. You consume worlds to build more machines, but what if the machines could be beautiful as well as functional? What if the process of creation could have meaning beyond mere survival? Engineer Choi Nara transmitted detailed technical specifications. Look at these ship designs. They use your construction methods but optimized for efficiency and aesthetics. Same resource cost, much better performance. Show us, the Devourer finally responded. What followed was the strangest battle in galactic history. Instead of weapons fire, there were technical demonstrations. Instead of military tactics, there were philosophical discussions. Instead of victory or defeat, there was collaborative engineering. The Devourers were fascinated by human creativity and Krathon durability. They had been built to consume and construct, but no one had ever taught them that construction could be an art. Dr. Shin Yuna worked with their central intelligences, helping them understand concepts like beauty, cooperation, and joy. The machines learned quickly, but they also taught the organics new ways to think about efficiency and large-scale construction. You wish us to build instead of consume? The lead Devourer asked after a week of discussions. We wish you to build, by consuming smartly, Choi Nara explained. Dead systems, asteroid fields, empty space. There's plenty of raw material in the galaxy that isn't being used by living things. And we'll work together, Thekvar added. Your construction abilities, our design skills, human creativity, we can build things none of us could create alone. This is acceptable, the Devourer said. We will attempt this collaboration. The first joint project was rebuilding one of the systems the Devourers had already consumed. Working together, they turned the dead worlds into a magnificent habitat network that could support billions of people from dozens of species. Scout Captain Nal Keth, now Captain Nal Keth of the Exploration Corps, led the first survey of the new system. It's beautiful, he reported. Efficient, safe, and beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. A year later, Ambassador Kang Minho stood before the newly formed Galactic Cooperative Council. Representatives from over 100 species filled the great hall that the Devourers had built in the space between two stars. Today marks the end of the Age of Conquest and the beginning of the Age of Cooperation, he announced. No longer do. We measure strength by what we can destroy. Now we measure it by what we can build together. Warlord Thekvar, now calling himself Constructor Thekvar, stood to address the assembly. The Krathon hegemony spent 3,000 years conquering the galaxy through force. But we learned from humans that true strength comes from making others stronger, not weaker. Dr. Park Sola presented her final research on deathworld evolution. We have discovered that every species reaches a choice point. They can remain simple predators, or they can evolve into protectors. The difference determines whether they become extinct or transcendent. Master Song Hyok offered the closing meditation. Today we proved that evolution's greatest achievement is not the perfect predator, but the perfect partner. When all species work together, everyone becomes stronger. Engineer Choi Nara activated the new Galactic Communication Network, built by Devourers using human designs and Krathon materials. For the first time in galactic history, every inhabited world could talk to every other world instantly. The first message sent across the network was simple. Hello, friends. What can we build together today? As the assembly dispersed, beings from across the galaxy began planning joint projects, new worlds to explore, problems to solve, and wonders to create. The age of war was over. The age of cooperation had begun. And in a small meditation garden aboard the newest station, Scout Captain Nalketh taught human children how to roar properly, while Master Song Hayok showed young Krathons how to find inner peace. The future belonged to all of them, and it was going to be beautiful.